Frontwave Arena in Oceanside, California. It's time for the final match of the MASL weekend, a Sunday sojourn between the San Diego Sockers and the Kansas City Comets. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth alongside Tony Sanchez, Craig Elston on hand with you. For this 8-team MASL regular season, there's a total of 96 regular season matches. As we begin play here today, 83 of the 96 are done. Just 13 matches remain for the entire league. Just 39 standings points to divvy up, and there's 5 teams all within 7 points of one another for the top spot in the league. Today, we've got 2 teams very hungry to get 3 of those points, the San Diego Sockers and Kansas City Comets.
Well, if they say that there's no rest for the wicked, then these 2 teams are definitely on the side of wicked, because after last night, both of these teams had to go face-to-face and go all the way to overtime, with San Diego winning 6-5. Both teams had to fly before dawn from Missouri to California to make it in time for tonight's match. So it's going to be a matter to see if these 2 teams have the will and if they have the legs and stamina to be victorious tonight.
And it's certainly going to be a scramble out there. Let's take a look at our featured players for this afternoon. And for San Diego, it's one of the newest guys who's starting to make a big mark on the scoreboard, Nilton de Andrade.
Nilton scored a brace last night, including the last-minute tying goal as well. That's 3 for 3 since joining San Diego, and he's filling in the spots where there are 4 midfielders that are very important for San Diego. Sideline, he stepped up very nicely.
Meanwhile, for Kansas City, their twin towers always lead the attack, Zach Reggett and Rion Marquez.
Rion Marquez right now is leading Kansas City, 23 goals and 16 assists for 39 points total. He's second in scoring in MASL. He actually had his 11-match point streak snap yesterday, so you know he's going to be hungry for some attack today.
Should be a great one for 2 hungry teams going head-to-head. San Diego Sockers, Kansas City Comets. We're going to come back. Nick Ferrara will give you a pregame update on the lineup, and then we'll bring you the starting lineups and the opening kick right here on MASL TV.
Is it normal to sweat this much?
This is awful. This is a mean sweat.
Quit looking at me, Susan. I don't know the last time I ate something planted. It's not that I don't like vegetables.
Doctor,
I said stop. I can't pay for a nutritionist.
Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
Wind 6 miles, runway 6 right, we're on.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's addict them and go outside on safari
To hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever.
whoa,
We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union.
Welcome back inside a raucous Frontwave Arena. Sunday afternoon MASL action between the San Diego Sockers and Kansas City Comets. Craig Elston, Tony Sanchez, and down on the floor, Nick Ferrara.
There's no rest for the weary in what must seem like Groundhog Day for both the Comets and the Sockers as the round 2 of this rubber match takes place right here at Frontwave Arena tonight. Last night in Kansas City, Chris Toth was in the goal, allowing Boris Pardo to stay back in San Diego, sleep in his own bed, and come in physically and mentally revitalized to continue to put that goalkeeping dominance on display. The captain's back. That's right. The farewell tour continues after missing 2 games. Craig Childs will be back in action tonight, and the Sockers are excited about that. Rugged defense could be the key to some stops here tonight against that powerful Kansas City Comets attack, and that's why Drew Ruggles is back in the defensive lineup to keep that team honest and stymie that attack. Now, sending it back to someone who needs no sleep, neither Craig or Tony. Get some rest, a well-deserved vacation.
Thank you, Nick. Sick Blazer, you're giving me ideas, bro. Pretty impressive. 2 teams that are leg-weary, bone-tired, but their hearts are in it. The Sockers and the Comets. Let's take a look. San Diego in second place coming into today, behind Baltimore by a point. Kansas City at 32 points, down to 500 at 10-10. They have dropped 4 of their last 5, while the Sockers have won 8 of their last 10. Season to date 2-0, but both those matches in overtime. The whistle has sounded. We're underway. It's the Sockers and the Comets. Kansas City in their road white tops, blue shorts, white socks, running right to left across your screens, while the Sockers are in a never-before-seen Hispanic heritage jersey. The brown and gold is what they are wearing, with a pattern down the chest. And of note, Tony, the Sockers crest changed as Mikey Lennis is in. For just a moment, he and Reggett looked like they had a 2v1. Good job by Momo Guy. The standard Sockers crest has been turned into a flaming heart, but the 16 stars remain. I guess that's what matters most.
Absolutely. Con el corazón espinado here on Hispanic Heritage Night, the San Diego Sockers look to probably come back and utilize that heart and be all heart tonight, as the legs can potentially be a little heavier after last night's match.
Giveaway, and it's Reggett in front, and Pardo comes up with a key kick save in the opening minute of play. Foul is called against San Diego. Milton De Andrade and Momo Guy there. Of course, these 2 teams kicked off 24 hours ago. Boris Pardo instead of Chris Toth in net. Chris is the backup. Nathaniel Lindquist was the backup on the road, meaning Pardo got to stay home, sleep in his own bed. He's fully rested, and as we can see, he is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to start this match. We'll get into the rest of the lineup and a couple of key changes for each team as we continue, but first, this dangerous set piece for Kansas City. Interestingly, no Marquez out there for it. Nacho Flores to Reggett. Punched up by Pardo and out. For the Sockers, field players Felipe Gonzalez, Drew Ruggles, Tavoy Morgan, Milton De Andrade, Sebastian Mendez, Stefan Mijatovic, Cesar Cerda, Mitchell Cardenas, Adrian Reyes, Craig Childs, Luis Piwi Ortega, Nick Pereira, Jesus Pacheco, and Mustafa Guy. Into the middle! Marquez almost had a shot. Cardenas got just enough of a piece of it to prevent him from having a tap-in goal for 1-0. Philip Ejimadu gets the start in net for Kansas City. He sat last night for Nicolau Neto, but their regular starter on the year, making his 17th start of the season, 9-5-3, 6.11 goals against average, 689 save percentage. Boris Pardo on the other side leads qualified goalkeepers with a 732 save percentage. His teammate Chris Toth is at 782, but has not played in a third of team matches yet to qualify. Last night's overtime hero, Jesus Pacheco, there with Mijatovic and Mendez, who certainly thought he scored yesterday. One of the stranger ones being taken off that we've seen this season. Opening 2 minutes complete. Los Brujos del 78, official supporters group of the Sockers, are rolling. Drums are banging here on Hispanic Heritage Night. Great sounds, great looks all around Frontwave Arena.
This is going to be a test for both of these teams, as Ruggles almost loses the ball. And this is going to be a matchup almost like an outdoor home and away leg, except no aggregate score here. But these players are going to be having a time to really be mental. It's going to be a mental game for the most part for those tired legs and heavy spirits coming in. But both teams with a fresh goalkeeper, so that's going to make things interesting in front of net.
For the Kansas City Comets, the 2 key changes, neither one is something that the Comets fans want to hear. Lucia Tetzane out of the lineup today, as is Chad Vandergriff. Of course, he's forced out of the lineup with the red card that he took in yesterday's match. The replacements are Eric Pereira and Nathan Dirtle in the lineup for those 2. Third minute done. Nice move by Chase Peterson. He factored in a goal in the Sockers' first meeting with Kansas City at Cable Dahmer Arena. That was a 7-6 overtime shootout win. Junior Kazim from London, England, bangs a Walla score pass, but there was no one on the other end to score. Only the Walla were there. Sebastian Mendez, and stepping in between, a very familiar face to Sockers fans, Guerrero Pino.
And you got a defender, hard-nosed defender who knows this style very well. Now Kansas City looking to counterattack on the other side.
3v2, and Ruggles made the important intervention there. Dirtle was wide open the entire way down the left side. Mijatovic headed it, Dirtle headed it. It sprayed into the corner, and Dominic Francis, Huddersfield, England. He is out there. Very international team, the Kansas City Comets. Marquez of Brazil does two baby bouncies to Boris Pardo, thinking someone would do something they didn't.
What we're going to see these two teams do is really be methodical with this first quarter and maybe even second quarter, trying to almost warm up those motors as they were going and firing on all cylinders last night for a very intense matchup. These two teams have faced each other in very close, tight matchups so far, as that's what we call the foul here.
Yeah, this is the third of 5. And everyone has seen it coming like a train in the distance all season, Tony, that the Sockers would feature against Kansas City 4 times in the last 5 games of the season for each club, respectively. And that's what we are in now. This weekend back-to-back, and then the final weekend of the season. Here's an open Lennis. Lennis trying to walk around Pardo. Wallace score a pass, and it's blocked away by Cardenas. Put to the back post, and missing Reggett was Lennis. Had a goal right there. Did not connect on what is needed to be a strong pass. Counterattack. Adrian Reyes with Nilton running way behind him. It's Reyes' ball to run off the wall at Jamadu, and he's put into the wall. And it looks like a common foul is called as Reyes slow to get up, but no blue card there.
And you saw Nilton Andrade going on the left-hand side, but I don't think Reyes was very aware of where he was. He corners himself and try to find some space and get a shot on goal, but at the end of the day, gets taken out from below him. That's going to be an important set-piece situation, and here back at home, Craig Childs on the ball.
Good to see Childs back in the lineup. Not exactly on the corner dot, but it might as well be. Leaves it for Pereira right off of the kidney of Ejimadu. Childs tries to keep the ball alive to the middle, and Cardenas will keep it in San Diego's possession. First 5 minutes done of this first quarter. Childs toe pokes through the legs of Pino, but Ejimadu's just waiting there to cradle the ball gently. Here comes Reggett dancing across the San Diego Sockers cursive script at the center of the Frontwave Arena home field. Lennis make that Andreas now. Christian Andreas and Mikey Lennis, two guys have similar games in terms of their size, their speed, their ability to really impact the match, especially in spread field transition situations. Felipe Gonzalez sees last night's hero, Jesus Pacheco. He'll be our halftime guest on the MASL TV halftime show today. Multi-point game yesterday with a goal and an assist. Tavoy Morgan. Morgan trying to get that right foot open. Andreas blocked it, and then Mijatovic shot it into the night.
Morgan doing very well, almost looking for that back heel pass as we saw last time here at Frontwave Arena. Very good at those back heel looks for Pacheco. But Pacheco has been a player who's been developing throughout the season. He's been asked to do everything from defending to being up top, and really now is kind of focusing his skills to what his specialty is, and he's paying the Sockers back in goals and important moments.
Momo had a nice dispossession there for San Diego. Nothing for Felipe Gonzalez to do, though. He was the tip of the spear, and there was nothing but guys in white shirts in front of him. Pacheco challenged by the much bigger Marquez, who steals the ball away. Rion Marquez is coming with men trailing him to the side. Triple team greets him on the mid-wall. Pacheco wants that ball back. He takes a bit of an elbow. Ball squirts out to the middle. Cesar Cerda's there. Then he plays Pardo dangerously. And meanwhile, Pacheco, who took an elbow that I saw, stays down.
Yeah, you can see two undersized defenders there. You have Cardenas, but then you have the two scrappy veterans. And yep, that's what we saw there.
Would that be a carded foul if Phil Salvaggio threw his flag? Sure, certainly a thought. His arms are crossed right now. It appears he's not thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was a tough one. It was a glancing blow, but if you get hit by the point of an elbow, it doesn't take a full drive-through for it to really hurt. It just like if you get tapped on the head with a hammer as opposed to a full swing, it still really hurts. Double team leaped over the standing Pereira for Kansas City to knock that ball over the wall and out of play. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. We welcome you to it. Amoda Productions in charge of the sights and sounds you see as Pereira, leading scorer for the Sockers, operates in the corner out of the soul roll with 3 men around him. Oh, he shot it off the face of his own teammate, Milton De Andrade.
I mean, asking for it exactly where you need it to be, but the position of the head wasn't exactly where it needed to be for De Andrade.
Want to say a special hello to everyone watching us today on Fox Soccer Plus, wherever you could be, nationwide, worldwide, maybe just experimenting with the great game of indoor soccer. Welcome to it. We got a foul called on San Diego. And that's going to allow Kansas City to transition in all of their top attackers. They currently had 6 guys out there. Now they're working their way down to the proper number.
Last night seeing 6 men on the floor call be reversed.
The left footer, Dominic Francis, moving in to take this shot. Blocked by Mijatovic.
That's that big body that you're asking to bring on for Mijatovic, and just get in front of the ball and create your own traffic as Soccer's trying to captivate on the other side.
Milton to Serta, and Francis goes down. He's down in the corner. Late, Josh Wilkins calls that foul to end the play. San Diego thought they were attacking on goal. Let's take a look. I mean, that's a high boot from Serta is what it looks like. And then did he fall into the boards as he came down?
Yeah, if it was going to be a foul, that should have been called earlier in order to make sure that the Sockers didn't have a look on goal. And that's what the Sockers are asking for right now. Craig Childs talking with the referee saying, hey, we had that look, we had that chance. If you let it go for that long, you need to keep the play going.
It's a tough call because, as you said, if it's a foul instantly and the play stops. But when the play continues and Francis stays down, historically, unless it's a head injury situation, you want to see that play out. And in this case, it felt like kind of a better late than never. But maybe better late than never was literally what happened there. Because I think it was certainly a foul.
Yeah.
So, the correct call was made. Here, San Diego will get another opportunity. 6:55 left. Next out-of-bounds play will be our media timeout. A goal is an out-of-bounds play.
A lot of set pieces in this first quarter.
Mendez sneaking and carried off the line by Pino. That one was going to head in, and now it's a counter the other way. It's Reggett, and tipped by Pardo over the crossbar, and then Kazim whiffs on a spinning scissor try.
Well, good counter-attacking opportunity here by Kansas City, and good for the Sockers being able to put numbers back as well. But on the other side of that set piece, they're looking for the near post of Ejimadu, but that big body is going to be tough to get past in that short window.
Tavoy Morgan was calling for it. He's got Pacheco wide. Missed kick there from Jesus. He had a goal on his feet. We've seen a few goals frittered in these opening 8 minutes. Might be two teams dog-tired. That could be it. Mijatovic.
Yeah, knowing Pacheco and his skill, that ball shouldn't have sliced as it did, but they're trying to warm up here and
good turn.
Yep.
Working on DeBray Holloman as Tavoy, he fakes and then shot it. Good job by the Aztec for Life, DeBray Holloman. ex of Ontario and other parts. Kicked out by Ruggles. That will bring us to the media timeout. So, a spirited but scoreless opening 8.5 minutes. We'll come back with plenty more coverage, including of an increasingly congested top of the MASL standings table when we continue on MASL TV.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Comets, they had to take the long way home to get here. Soccer's arrived at Frontwave Arena just about 2 o'clock for the 4 o'clock game, but they had a 2 a.m. call time in the Kansas City lobby this morning. These are all Pacific times. 3:45 a.m. flight, Kansas City to Las Vegas. Layover in Las Vegas for almost 2 hours. Vegas to San Diego, and then 11 a.m. cleared baggage. No score yet between the Sockers and the Comets. Rion Marquez and Kansas City attacking. His ex-teammate, Stefan Mijatovic, just took the ball away from him, and then Marquez poked it from behind. And Pardo, thankfully, was paying attention.
Yeah, that was something that Mijatovic needs to clean up a little bit, is those moments and those details in order to come back to full fitness. We know the size, we know the skill that he's able to come up, but here again.
Pickpocketed, Marquez scores! Mijatovic sitting on the side of the road, watching Marquez go by, stole it from him 1v1 and made no mistake for 1-0.
And just as I was mentioning it, that's something that you have to get rid of and try to at least get it out of the way. If you don't have an outlet for a pass, that has to be cleared out, and rather a 3-line violation than a direct goal right that. But now, Comets strike first here at Frontwave Arena, 1-0. Nothing for Boris to do on that one.
9:50 the time of goal. No, he's helpless to the situation. But you can always say, instead of just one man's situation, what could have been done better? There was no support there. Everyone was doing their own thing and kind of hoping that Mijatovic would just take care of it, and he didn't. And it's 1-0.
No communication.
Now 2 guys
there.
go for the same ball and then yell at each other.
It's that lack of communication there in that moment where usually the height wins, with Nick Pereira being first to the ball. Felipe also having a chance there, and we'll see if Kansas City takes advantage of these laps in judgment. This ball travels out. It's going to be for San Diego.
Nacho Flores skitters one over the low wall and out of play, and it's all 6-7 right now. They're muffing around. Mitre, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League, established in 1817. Mitre, one of the leading soccer brands worldwide, producing some of the best soccer balls in the world, including that one that just got saved, but the whistle sounded. And it looks like a foul is going to give the ball back to San Diego. Learn more at mitre.com, M-I-T-R-E.com. Childs. Mendez with the left foot. Blocked by Holloman. On its way to net. Mendez keeps it alive, out to Mitchell Cardenas. Soccer's down on their home floor, 1-0. a change in pace from the last several games where they've pitched first half shutouts. That won't happen today. Pereira, good move. Opening Mendez, turns to goal. Double team greets him before he could get a shot away.
And if you scouted Mendez, you know that he favors that left side and almost had the right side completely open for a toe poke of some sort, but decides to go that way and then gets double covered. But Soccer still maintaining possession here. That Mendez and Nick Pereira connection has been something special this season.
Drew Ruggles out there, one of the few Soccers in the lineup who didn't take that long way home that we detailed coming out of break. About 1,400 air miles covered today. Well, nothing massive, but probably nothing you'd want to do where you woke up at 2 a.m. and then played a game at 4 p.m. Yeah, and traveled almost the entire time in between. Always feels better when you do it with a win, and that's what San Diego did yesterday. 6-5 the final. Kind of that classic indoor soccer score for a good game. Nilton to the middle. It got to Ejimadu before it could get to Morgan, which is where the goal was waiting.
The Soccers have built a couple of good plays so far as they get some pressure of their own here up top.
Yeah, Reyes got the spinning steal to the wall. Morgan tiptoeing. Nilton saying, gimme. Ruggles tries for something super cheeky, and it turned into a soft shot, easily guarded. And here comes Andreas with a head of steam the other way, and Mijatovic is in the middle to say thank you very much. Soccers and Comets 1-0 Kansas City, 2.5 first quarter. Pereira keeping it moving to Reyes. He wants it back. Reyes didn't give it back. Now he punches it into the corner. Whew. Just not connecting. Mijatovic, this one was low. Shot just a little wide, but at least something to put Ejimadu to his side.
That's twice that Reyes has had the ball and held onto a little bit too long now on the other side.
Souza just skies it out of play. Capelli Sport is the official exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com and shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest league and team gear. Boris Pardo, the league's all-time winner in net. 147 wins, 41 losses. Not bad.
Missed time substitution.
And that's Peterson off the wall. Rebound. Reggett for the goal. Wallace Scora. 2-0. And once again, mistakes for San Diego on the change. Momo late on. And that's essentially a free power play given to Kansas City for 2-0. And this is really one of our low moments for San Diego so far in the first half this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Those mental mistakes are catching up here early on. And to say the least, these two teams always go the distance. 4 quarters of exciting soccer, but at least in the first quarter, Kansas City has been the better team, taking those opportunities and advantages of the mistakes given and presented. So far, San Diego hasn't been able to respond up front as Pacheco's fighting for that ball.
Reggett from Peterson. Reggett's 23rd. Marquez earlier got his 24th on a solo effort. And it's 2-0. The two Kansas City top Comets streaking. As a foul called there, and Kazim thought he deserved more, deserved a blue. All Kansas City in this first quarter. Soccers have had paths to score, but look gassed. Can they figure it out? Kansas City had to do the same thing. And my understanding is they had a direct flight this morning, not a 2-hour layover in Las Vegas, so you got that going for you. But is that the difference? Oh, that's got to be a foul, as Mendez put the elbow into the back of Mikey Lennis. Magic minute of the first quarter. This is where if San Diego could somehow, completely against the run of their own selves, conjure a goal, it would pretty much ruin what Kansas City has crafted. Kansas City gets a third one, look out. Marquez pretty wide open on the left wing. Cardenas trying to keep his eye on him as Mendez gets it loose to Pee-wee, and Pee-wee drops it back to Cardenas, and Cardenas sends it forward to Mendez, and this good ball movement has the Soccers in the corner. 40 seconds left. Momo's got Nilton up the middle. DeAndrade will fire, high and wide off the goal glass. It's going to pop up to Ejimadu, who can grab it. 30 seconds, well done by Philip Ejimadu. Nacho sending one forward. Andreas sees it skip over the low wall back to San Diego with 23.9 left on the first quarter clock. 4 15-minute quarters. A little bit different than some of the other Fox Soccer Plus programming you've been watching. Understood. 20 seconds. Headed back toward the middle. Headed back toward the middle. Souza lifted in surge. Stankovic off the wall. Serta flicks it. De Andrade lifts it. There's 5 seconds. Can they get it? 2 seconds. He scores with 1 second on the clock. Peterson went down. The call was play on, and Morgan played it in for a magic minute goal last second. 2-1.
And that's the goal the Sockers have been working for the entire quarter. Morgan having a couple of opportunities here. Times it, even though the clock was ticking. He says it, I need it to be perfect to put it exactly where it deserves to be. Tavoy Morgan cutting the lead in half, 2-1.
14:59, the time of goal. Wow, that shot was on target by Regan. It would not have counted. And Pino was meanwhile tying Ejimadu's shoe as the ball was put in play. And that's part of the glory of the MASL. We're 15 minutes down, and look what we just saw. The last second goal, 2-1 the score. We're back with second quarter run from Frontwave Arena next on MASL TV.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. I know the last time I ate something planted. It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stop. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Please signal, runway 6 right, cleared on.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Second quarter, getting ready to start at Frontwave Arena. It is Hispanic Heritage Night. They gave away these Lucha Libre masks. As you can see, they fit perfect. It is 2-1, Kansas City leading San Diego. Take a look at the battle for the Shield. Baltimore has won 8 in a row. They are in 39 points, 13-6-2. San Diego 1 point behind, but playing today. Chance to move into first with a result. Milwaukee played and lost today to Empire 6-3, a gigantic result. St. Louis didn't play this weekend. They will play twice next weekend at Tacoma and the next day here in San Diego. A very difficult trip. Crazy race. Kansas City in fifth at 32 points. A win would move them to 35 and get them right near the top. What the heck is going on? We've got a scoreboard malfunction as they never cleared the original second, and the horn sounded to end the first quarter, which already ended. The second quarter is actually beginning. So just a chance to reflect a little bit more on how congested, how exciting this season has been, Tony. And again, after today's result is put into the books, there's only 12 more results to be played around the league.
Yeah, no, an incredible season so far, and it's anybody's game so far here as long as for the Supporters Shield race. And for the Sockers, who had a clear pathway, they are now in a situation where you kind of have to look behind you as well, because you are playing some very tough matchups coming up, including Kansas City back-to-back. And, I mean, talk about the longest offseason. What a quick season it's been.
The Sockers have had plenty of injury and travel excuses that they could lay on their doorstep. But they've had so many beneficial results come in from around the league. And the latest was today with Empire winning for the battle for 6th place and the final playoff spot. It was a big day because Tacoma lost and Empire won, and Empire flips back into that number 6 spot. Here's Adrian Reyes! Shot it wide, and then the whistle sounded.
Could be in favor of San Diego. That's interesting. We've seen 2 shots go already and then a foul called back after the shot. Usually that's advantage given, but for San Diego, it's another set piece.
Okay. Mendez drifts to the middle. Childs finds Cardenas. Cardenas looking for Pereira on a quick cut pass down into the corner. It's taken away, and Kansas City's going to break. Here comes Zach Reggett. Reggett on the run, plays it off the wall, but Pardo's there to gobble it up in his crease. Opening 30 seconds, 2 teams switch sides. Sockers in their unique Hispanic heritage yellow and brown uniforms. They're going right to left. Pereira takes one off the chest, and Pino got called for fouling him while it happened.
Yeah, it's a big body to bring down, but in that moment, you see Pereira just feel a little bit and just kind of let his body go forward as well. Needing to sell that a little bit because that's a heavyweight.
Pino had a bit of a grin there. I think just remembering all those times when he was with the Sockers and Pereira was with Tacoma. And it was him doing the same thing. Childs going to take this one. No, that just hit Ejimadu. And then kicked off the line by Peterson. Wow. Sometimes it's all about placement. Childs now is down. He's holding his right knee.
It was a non-contact action by Childs.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. Craig is up. And let's see if it was just kind of a little tweak. You come down, your weight goes a little bit wrong. Yeah. And sometimes you can walk that off, and a few minutes later, you're feeling much better. This is Craig Child's final season, his 17th and final season. He had missed the last 2 games because of a lower body injury. His, quote-unquote farewell game is supposed to be 2 Sundays from now, the regular season finale. Of course, playoffs to come, but you always save the celebration stuff for the regular season. Yeah. But let's hope he's okay. Morgan spinning, open, pulled down, pull the card. Gotta do it. It's a blue card. Even Fernando Peña will call that one.
Yeah, that has to be a tarjeta azul, a blue card all day to avoid doing the best to find the space after that spin and had all the space to take a shot. We'll hear it here.
Kansas City blue card, number 48 for a hold.
Simple as it gets. Maybe, hey, it's a nice jersey. Maybe we can get him in one after.
So, with 14:02 left on the second quarter clock, the Sockers will go on the power play. First power play for either team. Now, this is where Craig Childs would feature, and he is not out there. So, something to consider as he is still being looked at by sitting on by the backup trainer there as Pereira shoots off of the draw, and then a shot off the wall by Mendez to start this power play. It began with 14:02 on the clock. It'll count down to either 12:02 on that running clock or to a Sockers goal, their second of the night. Ball hopping down to Cesar Cerda. San Diego on the power play, 8 for 28 this year. It's 5th in the league, 29% giveaway. The steal, Andreas, shorthanded, blocked by Serta. Andreas then gets triple teamed and then he dives, and now he's back up.
Andreas reading that very well. He was coming out of the box and stopped himself just to sneak attack and get this possession right there. And now the Sockers on the offensive side of things.
Kansas City has been very good on the PK. The Rat Patrol, 19 for 25 this year, third in the league. Sockers have the best penalty kill in the league. However, Chad Vandegrift, a huge part of that, not out there today because of the red card that he took yesterday. This is out of bounds. It's going to be top of the arc. A defensive clearance called against Kansas City for clearing the ball out of bounds from their defensive zone. That leads to the most dangerous set piece in indoor. The top of the arc restart, and with only a two-man wall, there's room to shoot. Will Pereira use it? He's going to give it to Nilton, who shot it high off the Kaiser Permanente logo. 50 seconds on the man advantage. Serta, room to work. And kicked out. Well done by Kansas City. Recovered to Pereira with 40 on the clock. Down to Tavoy. Spins one off of Ejimadu. Mendez brings it back down. 31 on the clock. Mendez backheel pass, but Serta wasn't expecting it. Now down to the corner to Nilton. Into the middle, and blocked, and well done. Right there by Kansas City's Nathan Dirtle. Dirtle comes up with a goal-saving block. 18 seconds left on this penalty kill. It is Mendez, space for his left foot. Almost blocked into his own net by Pino, but he shot it wide. Veteran knew what to do. 7 seconds on the power play. Serta, corner, Tavoy, back, behind him, and then Pereira comes in to save the ball. It's just a misconnected pass out of the box. Back to even strength, Kansas City. Eric Pereira.
Very well done there by Kansas City, closing in those spaces and almost looking to eliminate that man advantage. And now Nick Pereira with the backs against the goal.
And Pino leaning into him, up the wall, looking for Felipe Dirtle there again on the block.
The defense in the box has been substantially fantastic by Kansas City, along with Ejimadu's shot blocking abilities. That's why they haven't been able to score the Sockers in the second quarter so far.
Excellent start to this quarter, all things considered. Kansas City killing the penalty and saving a couple of potential equalizers. San Diego might be finding their way into this game over time. And that's what Kansas City has to worry about. Kind of the opposite of the way they've been playing of late. Felipe to Pacheco. Jesus gets bird-dogged through offensive midfield. Across the yellow line is Felipe. Felipe Gonzalez, 10-year veteran. Back to Pacheco. Spinning in. Shoots it high. And that ball will come off the low wall and stay in play. Drew Ruggles backs up on it for San Diego. Pardo will make himself an outlet for a slowly rolled pass. Dominic Francis is challenging. Now Pardo in the air, punched by Ejimadu, quite outdoor styly. Mijatovic looking for Tavoy, who fouls DeBray Holloman.
Well done there, coming up and anticipating that pass and knowing that outstretched leg of Tavoy's going to be waiting and killing that momentum there. And again, very well done by Kansas City and their defense in making sure they're staying prepared mentally, because we saw what happened last night, a long match, as that's going to be called a foul.
Yeah, Souza brought down. Reggett and Marquez. But it's Andreas on a quick restart, and Wilkins says, not my tempo. Bring it back.
Yeah, it seems like somebody asked for the distance of the wall. If you ask for the distance, you got to wait for the whistle for everything to be set.
Now complaining about the distance.
Just an inch backwards. You don't usually see that.
Here you go, Nacho. It's all set for you now. And now Reggett's down on a foul to the chest, and it's another free kick to be measured out. The lights are bright, the fans are loud. It's the Comets and the Sockers, and you can stream it live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again and again. Make sure to favorite your team and get instant updates on every game at MASLplus.tv. The boot of Francis, and Pardo comes up with a crazy save.
Very well done by the veteran Pardo there. Reads it the entire way. Still has to come outstretched. Watch out here for the Sockers trying to go into a 2v4 situation.
Well, Guy got it loose. Now it's Andrade versus the world. And he'll place the smart bet and send it back through the defense. Sockers had 4 men on the field. You don't get penalized for that just in the game situation you do. You don't have enough guys. Pereira walking his way out of the corner. The master of the soul roll. Pee-wee pickpocketed by Lucas Souza. And then kicked out of play. Over the head of Sockers mascot Sonny, whose head is a giant soccer ball.
The classic mascots, not just in San Diego, not just in MASL, but just in general. Love me some Sonny action.
It's kind of funny to watch Sonny watching the game. Just like a face in the crowd, you know. Here's Pereira down low, and then Pino continuing that night-long battle that was last night and now tonight, the doubleheader. Touring state to state.
It's a veteran battle, a battle of physicality, and just two players who know each other very well. That's something very, very fun to watch. Little storylines as here we go again.
Pereira, this chapter 14. This time it was the one where Stankovic wins, and then Pacheco got the shot and it was kicked away. And it's back to Pacheco, and he spins away, and Ejimata was down for a second. San Diego still has the ball, but not a second shot yet. So close. But in the middle of that, Pacheco had the point-blank shot, and Ejimata the kick save. Back to Pereira. He's the fulcrum of the offense. He draws 4 around him, and then lost the ball. But he was kicked. Peterson furious.
Yeah, Pereira just seemed like he was trying to go into that forest of legs. So you know what? There's a sequoia here trying to march on through. But what I'll say is the Comets know how to put those bodies inside of the box. If Ejimata doesn't stop it, there's 3, 4, 5 other players sometimes right in front of it to clear that ball out.
Pacheco save Ejimata. Another one that he just body blocked. He's gets it back. Down low, missing across. Parallel instead of perpendicular to the line. Back to Pereira, to Morgan. Punch save, Ejimata. Hoo-wee. Hot pressure all around the net.
An incredible set of saves here by Ejimata. That's going to be called against Morgan.
He and Reggett were doing battle. This game's had a little bit of everything. 7:45 in the second quarter, and there's plenty more to come. And then they'll play again twice in the final weekend, and every game matters. You know, the playoffs will make strange bedfellows. Here's a steal from Momo. And then he just gives it away to Marquez. And then he's knocked down by Momo, and it's a foul. An example of that, Tony, is I guarantee you right now, a strong portion of our populace in this broadcast audience are Milwaukee Wave fans cheering for Kansas City. Oh, you didn't think you could do that, huh? You didn't think you could root for the Comets, Wave fans? You root for them to lose every game. Well, not this one, huh? Not this one, I know it. Francis, well, maybe he meant to let that go through to Reggett. But then Ruggles got a toe on the ball, not enough to keep it off of Kansas City's feet. It's back down low. Well, they're going to call a foul on Pee-wee and set up a free kick from the corner for Kansas City. 2-1. Comets have been the better team so far. One last-second goal in the first quarter gives San Diego their lone tally. But This quarter, San Diego's been much better overall. So I think that gap is narrowed in terms of where the pure result would lie. 2-1 Kansas City's probably earned. Off the wall, looking for Marquez, and then it's found by Souza. And Lucas Souza delivers that third goal for Kansas City, punishes San Diego for their errors in the defensive zone, and regains the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, the box just being crowded, and then Souza finding himself with some space enough to just hit that ball to the roof of the net, and it's going to be a 3-1 Kansas City, extending their lead here in the second quarter.
Souza from Marquez, 3-1 Kansas City. Will the Sockers have an answer? We'll find out when we come back to MASL TV.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari
To hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever.
whoa, we can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Kansas City Comets started the season 6-2, but since then 8 losses over their last 12 matches, singing those Kansas City Blues over the last 5 games, 1-2-2. So what's gone wrong to see Kansas City go from 6-2 to 10-10? Well, I think you can honestly strike up at least a little bit of it to just misfortune. Now that was a mistake. Top of the arc allowed by Pereira. But they're 2-4 in overtime matches this year, but they've lost 4 in a row in sudden death. You know, those are kind of arbitrary moments, those points lost. Kansas City's a really good team. They've got talent on all 3 levels. Top of the arc, though. Let's see if the Sockers can cash in on a mistake. Morgan missed. Kicked out and over by Ejimadu, so they might get another bite of it from the corner. They will.
They're going to have to figure out a way to get past Ejimadu, whose shot-stopping ability is on display tonight, and this is going to have to be with some clever passing potentially within the box, almost trying to walk it in, but even then, the amount of defenders that the Comets have almost turned the Comets into an asteroid belt.
Mendez, another sliding block. That one by Flores. This is the #1 shot blocking team in the league, the Kansas City Comets, and led by Chad Vandegrift, who, you know, annually, perennially is either he or Robert Palmer, the league leader in blocked shots, as the league record for shots blocked. Him not being here doesn't change the character of what they do, including Reggett on the attack with Marquez. The 2 targets and Nacho trying to team up. Those are 3 top playmakers out there. But here comes Tavoy, head of steam. Ejimadu just got there in the nick of time, or else Tavoy gets to walk in 3-2. Forward, Reggett. Power left if he can get to it. He's trying, but on the 3rd rake, Pee Wee was able to come over and clean up. And then headed forward, get past Flores. Blue card. And he and Ejimadu and Pee Wee get a little bit into it.
Yeah, Pee-wee's not one to back off from anything, even if it is Ejimadu, but that blue card comes off of a fantastic outside of the foot pass and clearance by Boris Potter to initiate that counterattack. And it's gonna end up costing Kansas City a man down for at least 2 minutes or a Sockers goal.
Nacho's the man going to the bin of sin. 6:06 left on the second quarter clock. Second Sockers power play of the quarter. They are 0 for 1.
It seems like they're asking for will it be a shootout?
I think Ejimadu was behind. I don't know why it would be a shootout. It wasn't last man in.
Seems like it'll be called that way.
Huh. Well, okay, I'm surely misthinking it. Here it is.
Kansas City 28 for a hold. Result of the play is a shootout.
Okay. Last defender in. Let's take another look. Yeah, okay, no one but the goalkeeper. And then just for, that's why Pee-wee, okay.
I can see that.
First off, Ejimadu didn't mean to shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
But he did. Here's Pereira for the 5-second shootout. Whistle sounds, Pereira rolls it past. Oh my goodness, and then he missed his own angle and Ejimadu got back. Too cheeky by half. You have all 5 seconds. Nick tried to use 4.5. And then the last moment, Tony, came up in smoke. And a 2-minute power play will follow as a result.
Very well done by Ejimadu, but you had him dead to rights. 1, 2, and the third step over that takes you out of frame there. You see Pereira just mistiming it, and a missed opportunity by the Sockers there. They still maintain possession.
Very much a missed opportunity. Morgan off the wall. Second chance for San Diego here. And once again, Kansas City, which had one shorthanded opportunity last time, trying to put that pressure on the Sockers. Power play counting down to either 4:06 or a Sockers goal. Milton, Tavoy keeps it going, Mendez scores! Sebastian Mendez, Silky, Morgan set him up for 3-2.
And this is a well-oiled machine when it comes to scoring this. You see Tavoy Morgan immediately, first time, lays it off to the left-hand side. And Mendez ready to go with that rocket left foot that we've seen this entire season. First times it as well. Takes a special play to get past Ejimadu this match, and that's exactly what they did. 3-2, San Diego takes advantage of the power play.
That goal at 9:30 of the quarter. San Diego knocking home their 9th power play goal of the season. Now can San Diego hold on the next shift? Almost no. Kicked away and a foul called. Kansas City gets another scoring chance just like the one they converted seconds before.
That's something that's plagued the Sockers all season. They score and there's an immediate response back.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Okay.
Well, it was fun. It was creative for sure. Not sure what ingredients you wanted in that, but we like the idea of the dessert. Morgan fouled by DeBray Holloman. So goal each in the second, Tony.
Yeah, you can tell that the momentum has now gone into the San Diego Sockers' way, and see if they can go ahead and take advantage of this with Morgan up top, who's been sharp here at Frontwave Arena, but
Pacheco burning into the corner and runs into Wilkins, the official. He kind of bails him out with a foul call there, and that's certainly what the Comets thought. They went as a man to him. 5 people shouting the same thing at once.
It seemed like it was a foul by the referee, but clearly he saw something there from the Comets.
I mean, he really did foul our player. There we go. Pereira. Donk off of the wall. Pacheco's open. Now he's got a man in his pocket, Dominic Francis. Under 5 minutes to play, second quarter. Here comes the tippy toes of Sebastian Mendez. Pereira tries to shoot it through Holloman. Ball got caught between his legs. Sockers will change men. Mijatovic comes on. Tavoy is still out there. Tavoy's banging, Tavoy's spinning. Mendez lost it behind him. Counter is on for Kansas City if they can shape it. Stankovic turning to his left foot, yes sir! Clinical and cruel. 4-2, Kansas City puts their hand back on the steering wheel.
Very well done there, turning Mijatovic to his unfavorable left-hand side. Mijatovic almost gives just the shoulders to the wrong direction, saying, you know what, you can go to the left, and that's exactly where he went, cutting in and shooting. And almost immediately, I mean, I don't want to say that it was an immediate response, but it was rather quick from the soccer score, doubling the lead 4-2.
Only the third goal of the year for Stankovic, who put in 15 his rookie year with Texas. That ball bounced off of Tavoy. Common foul called against Morgan on the Frontwave Credit Union logo. It was a pretty impressive response. And also, again, the defender that it winds up getting on the wrong side of the highlight reel. Reggett's down. He got hit in the small of the back by Pardo when they both went up for that ball. These guys have been teammates before. There's certainly no ill intention between these two, but it was clearly a painful exchange for Zach. And I felt pain in that part of my back, Tony, in my life. And I'm much older than Zach Reggett.
But I bet it wasn't via Boris Pardo contact there, and that's just a classic goalkeeper forward contact situation. Boris gets there first to the ball, but there's the rest of Boris, not just his fist, coming out as well.
Off of Pereira and out of bounds. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, also the CBS Sports Golasso Network, where Alex Bastravansky and Phil Levanko debate the topics of the week and bring on guests from around the league. Check it out, MASL Monday. Find past episodes on YouTube. Mitchell Cardenas playing it through Pardo under some heavy high pressure by the Kansas City Comets. And they're going to break to it and almost score. Souza tipped by Pardo over. Huge save to deny a fifth goal. And a dominant turn toward Kansas City in this match. Soccer's just hanging on right now.
They really are, and Boris Pardo having an excellent reaction to that shot. Has to contort his body in a way to make sure that the ball punches up and not into the goal. Very well done there, and we'll see if they have a response with 3 minutes left.
Serna working his way up the bench wall. Good jump by Pino. Intercepted that ball, tried to start a run up the middle, or up the wing, I should say, but he sent it up the middle to Souza and it was clogged up. Pereira with Felipe. Pereira to Felipe, off the wall, nothing doing. The third or fourth chance for Felipe that's come up wanting in the last 3 weeks.
I believe he felt Ejimata was going to come and press him, and that's why he immediately tried to toe poke it around him, but Ejimata was a little bit more patient and went back to his box and to his line.
It's tough because it's one of those things, you get what he's trying to do and it would look so great if it worked, but when you don't do it, it's just like, wow, that was it? You're gonna, I mean, that's what our breakaway is going to turn into? Here's Pereira. Ooh, stepping up. Mendez rips it just a little wide, steps on it, does a little dolphin kick to bring the ball back, and then Nilton's called for a foul in pursuit. as we go under 2 minutes. Coming up at halftime of the MASL TV halftime show, my conversation with last night's winning goal scorer, Jesus Pacheco, plus Alex Bastravansky brings you MASL in 5 with all the news from the past week. And we'll bring you first half highlights. All still to come. Will there be another goal still to come? Quite possibly. However, Holloman's pass back got to Nilton de Andrade, who then chose to just dribble. He had passing outlets, now he uses one. In the end, it's well done. Mijanovic sending in Serta, working down to the final 90 seconds. Serta's got an open foot until the sprawling block by Francis, and then another block. Then blocking Comets, throwing a block party again.
Incredible stuff by the Comets here. We'll see if the Sockers have one more in them with a couple of minutes, 1 minute almost left in this quarter. Aquí en La Pasas.
Pereira, beach soccer style, flips it way up in the air. Serta tracking it off the wall, and Francis, and then the wall again. Final minute, second quarter is live with a foul in the corner, leading to a corner kick for San Diego.
And it seems like we've seen the Sockers have a couple of outlets and opportunities close to the south side wall, in between the yellow lines. And now they're trying to power through.
Too high from Mendez. 50 seconds. Pereira. Ooh, back to the left, back to the right. Can you put it on goal? Shot is blocked by Francis from Mijanovic. Serta with 30 seconds to Pacheco. Fakes. Back heel. Serta again. Pacheco open. Back to him. He'll shoot it. Partially blocked by Flores. Back to San Diego. 16 seconds. They scored with 1 second left in the first quarter. 10 seconds here. Serta drifting in, weaving back. He's got to keep it for Mendez. Shot is away. Blocked, rebound, blocked again. And that's how the half comes to an end. The Comets deserved it. They got it. The more committed, more focused, more communicative team with fewer mistakes. Kansas City takes a 4-2 lead into the halftime locker room, Tony.
No, it's been incredible what the Kansas City Comets have been able to do in front of goal. Both Ejimadu and that whole defensive positioning and team are the difference here. The Sockers having the chances, having the plays be constructed very well, but it's a fire blanket when it comes to that last third of the floor. Very well done, and the Sockers have to be a little bit more clinical when it comes to those opportunities that they do build, because if this is the way that the second half is going to go, Kansas City has a good chance to see this match out.
I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now, and they've got the entire Kansas City team credited with 5 blocked shots. They had 5 blocked shots in the last minute. They've probably blocked 15 to 20 shots. Here's a couple of the highlights from early on. As Phil Salvaggio makes his way to midfield, we see Tavoy Morgan's goal. Let's go downstairs, guys, as Nick is standing by with Phil.
Rest is at a premium here off a back-to-back less than 24 hours ago. You were playing in Kansas City, but no excuses here. You bring it in. Boris Pardo was put in some tough predicaments early and often. How do you make a change at halftime to switch up that scenario for the second half?
Well, we got to get momentum. I mean, we're all tired, so you got to figure a way to not to be tired and get some, adrenaline going.
Your captain, Craig Childs, went down after just coming back into the lineup. Tell us about what you know on his injury.
I think it's pretty bad. It's the same one he's had, and just coming back. And now we're down a man going in the second half.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you so much. Let's go to halftime and the MASL TV halftime show. We'll hear from Soccer's first-year midfielder, Jesus Pacheco, who's had a big impact on the team when we come back right here on MASL TV.
Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen around can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
With 6 calls, runway 6 break, cleared on.
Halftime on MASL TV. San Diego Soccer's doing battle with the Kansas City Comets. I'm pleased to be joined by Saturday night's Soccer's hero in overtime, Jesus Pacheco. Jesus, thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure for having me here.
Well, let's talk about yesterday's game. That was intense. We've seen 2 intense battles with Kansas City and 2 overtime wins for San Diego. What's your feeling about what took place last night?
I mean, I just feel amazing scoring the winning goal, got my team up. But we worked so hard, and now we have them again today. So it's going to be a crazy battle today as well.
When the Sockers fall behind, this team knows how to respond. We've seen it twice now in Kansas City. Your first full year with the team, but what is it about this club that allows them to rise up in those moments?
I mean, honestly, once we're down, nobody's blaming each other. We all stick together as a group, and I feel like that's why we just, work even harder to try to come back, and it works for us.
I had a feeling at the beginning of this year, Jesus, that it would take you maybe half a season to get locked in, get acclimated with how these guys move and what they want and where they want it. In your last 7 games, you've scored 6 goals, 9 points, 7-match point streak. Do you feel that's starting to lock in?
Yeah, I mean, they're giving me the confidence, they're giving me the ball more, giving me way more confidence to go at people. So, I respect that, and they respect my game, and I like that. I love this team about it.
And certainly this club has seen its share of adversity all year. I mean, even yourself has been dealing with some injuries, and it feels like every single week it's a matter of who's available this week.
Yeah, we have so many injuries. We need everybody healthy so we could get the team going.
Let's talk about this race this year. Kansas City's still in it. 5 teams within 7 points. You're 1 point behind Baltimore coming into today. What are the expectations within the room?
I mean, we got to get 3 points. We're trying to win all these games against KC, so I know it's going to be tough, but we could do it. We just got to stick together.
Have you been surprised at how well your old team Baltimore has played?
Yeah, a little bit, I'm glad they're doing good, though. I'm really glad they're doing good.
Last thing, Jesus, how have you taken to San Diego? What are some of the things that you've enjoyed doing during your time here in your first full year being in America's finest city?
I mean, just being close to family, and I mean, we got the beach around here, so that's something. I always go to the beach, relax over there. So it's been nice.
Jesus Pacheco, it's been nice having this guy in the lineup. When we come back, we're going to bring you MASL in 5 with Alex Pastravansky. First half highlights, second half kickoff coming up right here on MASL TV.
cold. And then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
With the call from 6th grade, we're on.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd at the San Diego Zoo.
This is MASL in 5. How goes it, folks? I'm Alex Bastiavansky back here in our league studio. Hope all is well in your world. There's a ton to cover today as we look at what's going on in the league right now. So let's get to it.
Ambush down 2-1 early. Roared back to a 3-2 lead in the third. And then unfortunately did what they've done a lot in the last few games. Oh, and there it is. Stinson will walk it off. Too easy. They played it slow.
This unpredictable MASL season rolled on last week with Empire taking down formerly first place St. Louis in overtime. The Ambush have now lost 3 straight games, but the real story last week was Baltimore. The Blast started 2026 in a bad way, going 1-4, but since then they have been red hot, hosting Utica on March 6th, the home side in control the whole way with Kevon Frater nabbing a hat trick to down the Blues 9-5. And then they had to fly cross country to face San Diego on Sunday. Not an easy trip against one of the league's powerhouses, but the Blast reeled off 5 straight second half goals to storm back and drop the Sockers 5-4. Chad Porch, the winner right there, with just $1:12 left on the clock. Milwaukee was hosting Tacoma on the 8th, and forget about it, the Wave in control the entire way, beating up on the Stars 11-4. Oscar Flores had 5 points, Alex Steinwasser 3, as the Stars' road woes continued. It wasn't an entirely lost week for Tacoma, though, as they hosted a struggling Kansas City squad that's gone 2-3 over its last 5 games. The Comets kept it close, but ultimately it was Tacoma edging them 9-7 the final score. And Tacoma's big trade deadline signing, Frank Taillou, has been off the charts so far. The MASL's all-time points leader potted 2 in this game. The man they call the King now has 5 tallies in just 3 games. Tacoma enters this week with just 91 goals scored, by far the fewest in the league, so they definitely can use Frank's offense. And the game that kicked off the week was San Diego at Empire. They've had some serious battles this season, but on this day, it was the Sockers' defense that shone brightly. Chris Toth named the game's first star with the 14-save shutout. Sebastian Mendez had 2 tallies to pace the offense, as the Sockers now sit in a tie for first place in the MASL standings with the Baltimore Blast. Your up-to-date scoring leaders now. Leading the way, Alex Sanchez from Milwaukee, followed by Rian Marquez of KC, then Super Mario Alvarez with 37 points. Sergio Pinal up to fourth with 35 points. And Zach Reggett in fifth with 34 points. And your Capelli players of the week. In goal, Julian Rodriguez from the Baltimore Blast. Offensively, Oscar Flores from Milwaukee. And defensively, Chad Porch from the Blast as well. Let's start with Flores, who's just having a ridiculous season, and it continued last week. 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists in just one game over the Tacoma Stars. Chad Porch, 2 goals against the San Diego Sockers, and that included the game winner in the dying moments of that contest. And between the posts, his teammate Julian Rodriguez, spectacular as he went 2-0 last week, 17 saves, and a .654 save percentage. Time now for your plays of the week.
Limit the Stars' chances, always 10 shots through 3 periods.
Boy, does Flores have a nice touch.
Oh, Super Mario!
Miento trying for last-second heroics. It's Porch all the way down. He's got Welly in the middle of Porch. He scores! They did it again! The Baltimore Blast are the hottest team in the league!
A bit of a run there. But then here's Gomez from the outside. Shot it is! The goalie goal for Gomez!
This is settled for Lennis. Lennis gets it back on the bounce pass. It's off the bar. It's bar down. It finishes.
Can San Diego change it? Yes, they can! Nick Pereira.
The Stars shorthanded, pushing forward. Cox outside the foot for John. John nutmegs Ejimadu. The Stars score.
And unfortunately did what they've done a lot in the last few games. Oh, and there it is. Stinson will walk it off. Too easy. They played it slow.
Silla punches it back for Rodriguez. 5 seconds. Pereira off the boards in front.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
You've got to be kidding me!
CBS Galazzo, you just saw the goal of the year. Oh my goodness!
And that's going to wrap things up for this week's show. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
get real close to them,
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
With the call, wrong with 6th grade, we don't know.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here at Frontwave Arena.
It's 4-2. The Comets lead Kansas City, lead the San Diego Sockers. Craig Elston, Tony Sanchez, Nick Ferrara with you. Here's a quick look at some of the first half highlights. That was a simple mistake cashed in. Rian Marquez with a steal. That was another mistake, a poor change by San Diego, allowing a free runner. Then the mistake of Chase Peterson to try and head the ball away from Tavoy Morgan failed. He scores this one with 0.7 seconds left on the clock to make it 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. Shootout opportunity for San Diego. Oh, Nick Pereira took one roll too many. That one was denied, and San Diego did not score on that power play. Later scored on a power play with Sebastian Mendez netting it for 3-2, but Lucas Souza had scored in between. David Stankovic picked off a ball at the San Diego yellow line, dribbled across two lines, 1v1 against Mijatovic, turned him right to left, and scored on him. And 4-2 is the score. Kansas City, the visitors, in desperate need of these 3 points. They've got the lead, trying to do what San Diego did to them twice already this year, coming to their home and take away the win. But plenty of time, plenty of activity yet to come in this match, and that's almost for sure.
This match is certainly going to come down to who takes advantage of those mistakes from the opposing team the most, and we've seen so far in the first 2 quarters Kansas City be that team, as opportunities have been aplenty for both squads.
Lennis' shot blocked by Cesar Cerda, up and out of play for a restart along the wall. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. Don't forget to check out MASLsoccer.com for everything you need to know. Leaderboards, standings, highlights, and more. Kansas City, if you're just joining us, have dropped 4 of their last 5, 2 in overtime. San Diego's been on a much better run of form, 8-1-1, but they're almost mystifying 5-4 at home and trailing here. Pee-wee off the steal, coming forward with Mendez. Mendez steps over to his right foot, looking for a wall to score. It's off the hands of Ejimadu, but he's able to bring it in. Soccer's, just to finish the thought, Tony, the best home winning percentage in MASL history. It's close to 90%, and then last year they went 15-0 regular season and playoffs. So 5-4, and now, right now in danger of a 3rd regulation loss at home. Pretty dangerous stuff for San Diego.
And it's going to be impressive to see if the Sockers can be the team to respond right off of halftime, because again, a lot of these players are tired, heavy legs, as this is going to dribble into Ejimado's hands, and to see where the stamina is for both sides and where the mental mistakes really have to come into play, as watch out here.
Regan was hoping to time that for a big shot. Now he sets up Peterson, but it's blocked by Cardenas, who then shoulders him into the corner. Gets the ball out anyways, does Peterson, and now it's sent to Francis off the crossbar. He thought he had the goal. He was ready to celebrate, and it went off the bar and out.
San Diego very fortunate that didn't bounce in. A good look, a completely open man on the second post of Boris Pardo. As the Sockers will try to move forward and try to create some offense.
Mendez got bumped and lost his footing along the way. It was a play-on situation, and he's going to come off tired at the end of the long shift. Morgan's looking for the ball, hunting it with 12.5 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Tavoy with a goal and an assist, looking for a second. Oh, ricochet, pinballs off 2 players, Souza and the shooter Reyes.
Very well done there by Tavoy once again.
Souza's hurting. He raced to the bench with cradling his forearm. Morgan working on his old teammate Pino. Tries to step through, but the double team greets him. Eric Pereira. Morgan tries to spin, foul called on Pino. Big free set piece coming up, free kick right here, Tony.
Just a tasty little flick there by Cardenas to create that space for Morgan to receive the ball in his classic facing away from goal situation, and that's what happens too. We've seen Morgan come a little bit stronger in the situation and only go down when he feels a substantial amount of contact, enough contact to get this call here in a dangerous set piece situation.
Pacheco off the wall, Rebound. Morgan wants it, blocked by Peterson. Pardo. Lovely setup, but then Marquez read it before Cardenas could shoot. Continuing to pressure, but now the Sockers have 3 players behind the ball. Pacheco had to hurry to get back to even terms there. Good spin by Dirtle, who had 2 big blocked shots earlier. Oh, great shot, goal! Pino to Holloman, 2 defenders, looking like the most skilled midfielders in the league. The Sockers are getting run around. They're down 5-2.
What a beautiful flick by Pino there, knowing that there should be somebody, anybody on the second post. And Kansas City takes advantage of that counterattack. Very well done, a beautiful goal, beautiful play. 5-2. Comets are trying to go ahead and extend this lead as much as they can because they know this game usually goes all 4 quarters, but San Diego has to respond.
Literally the first point of the season for DeBray Holloman, his first goal, the 12th goal of his 8-year MASL career. And the Sockers are just not getting the job done, plain and simple. And Kansas City's earning it. And the Comets are the better team today, without question.
This is Southside wall where the Sockers have found themselves into trouble once again.
Could have been a blue. It is a blue. From behind, Josh Wilkins called the blue. Pena watched it happen. He has the blue in his hand now too. Adrian Reyes goes to the bench.
Reyes and Mijatovic not communicating there and finding himself into hot water. The result here is a blue card and a power play in favor of Kansas City in their, one of their best moments of the match.
Power play began with 10:52 left in the third quarter. It'll count to either 8:52 or to a Kansas City goal to extend their 5-2 lead. They will have to try to beat the #1 PK unit in the league. 23 for 26, the Sockers at defending the man advantage this year. 88%. Reggett tried to shoot, blocked by Serta. With Marquez, Francis, Nacho, and Mikey Lennis. Reggett probing the captain. Marquez kept it going into the corner. Francis, the left footer. Reggett's a left footer as well. He'll fire. One-footed save, but that's tapped in by Marquez. And the Comets running away with it, 6-2.
And that's what you do in those situations. Reggett just laces it through, hoping for a rebound, and that's exactly what happens. A good save by Boris, but no help and support in trying to get that ball cleared out. Cardenas a little bit too late. It's just a simple tap in to put the cherry on top of that power play. And now 6-2, much more daunting than the beginning of the quarter.
Well, the Sockers had to take the exact same travel as Kansas City. There's no excuses for San Diego, which was given yet another standings gift by Milwaukee losing today at home, and they are clearly not only going to fail to take advantage of it, but are going to post one of their worst performances of the entire year at the time when they can afford it the least. It's up to San Diego to change the narrative, because right now, outplayed, out-hustled, outclassed. Looking for the cherry on top, Stankovic. Mijatovic, who's -2 on the day at least. Ooh, Ejimadu right through Morgan, just a hard foul.
A strong collision here, and something that the Comets have been doing so far is really taking advantage of that size that they have. They have size, they have speed, but on the defensive end, they've certainly put the bodies in front of the Sockers shots, and that's been the difference in the first 2 quarters, as we'll have, what, a foul?
I think the door was open.
Gotcha.
Okay. Back to Souza and the Comets. Reggett working in the corner. Out to Holloman, scoring north of his hometown, or his college of choice, at least we should say. Tough day for San Diego State. Men's basketball team left out of the March Madness bracket. Not an unexpected result. It was the expected result, but still disappointing for what some people thought at the beginning of the year would be Brian Doucher's best team. It was not. Spoiler alert.
I think same sort of situations. The best assembled and most deep San Diego Sockers team of the season, too. But injuries certainly played a part in that. And now for Kansas City here, it's just a matter of time.
Ejimadu almost. Mendez trying to get it back as Nilton gets himself out of the net. Sockers just need one to turn the narrative. They're far from being in the game, but one would at least give this crowd, announced at 3,002, something to cheer for. It's a loud crowd on Hispanic Heritage Night. Left for Mendez, off the wall. Easily warded out by the Comets, calmly and serenely. San Diego putting very little pressure. Now the second quarter, not that way. They had 13 shots. Ejimadu's been a saves machine. And we've seen the Sockers come from daunting deficits many times before.
And it's in this area where you're really missing those creative midfielders because you're asking defenders to move on up and create. As Mijatovic
has his shot blocked. Flores. That's the counterattack that's triggered when a defender comes in low. It's a breakaway. It's Andreos. It's Junior Kazin, and Ruggles got back in time. Sockers will try and send it the other way. Pereira. No. An artfully attempted pass fails. Reyes fails to make contact with the ball. He thought he was going to block it. He had to send it back to Pardo. Back and forth sequence.
And those missed connections also in front where you're asking Pereira to act as a midfielder and bring the ball up. He needs to lay off the ball and then get himself into position, but there's nobody who's really creating or creating that space.
Pacheco's shot blocked up and out of play. That'll lead us to the media timeout. Sockers needed to talk about it and regroup. It's all Kansas City. They've scored the last 3 in this one and hold a 6-2 lead on MASL TV.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Frontwave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Something exciting coming next Sunday here to Frontwave Arena. The debut of the all-new Sockers W team. An exhibition match will take place at 1:45 p.m. prior to the Sockers St. Louis ambush game against Empire's fledgling squad. Pacheco's shot blocked. As once again, Kansas City proves themselves impermeable to San Diego's strikes. One ticket will get you in for both the women's match and the men's match, so come on down and make an afternoon of it next Sunday here at Frontwave Arena. Soccer's W all-time debut, 1:45 p.m. Soccer's in ambush. Big game for St. Louis. Big game for San Diego. That'll be at 4 o'clock. That one went off of Marquez's face and will have a stoppage. Inadvertent, but the danger of the profession right there.
You see what happened there was Cardenas trying to go ahead and move the ball all the way from the defensive end with one pass to Pereira because there's no connective tissue in between, and you're hoping to have that picture-perfect pass, and when it doesn't, you open yourself up for a counterattack, as we'll see here. Oof, sana colita de rana.
Reggett lifting toward the back post. Francis gets the shot away wide. Mendez tries to send it forward and get past Reggett on a sprint. Sebastian Mendez steps over, shoots. Reggett blocks it. Kansas City guys, here's a blue card on Pee Wee. Contact above the shoulders on Dominic Francis, who's not happy about it. Make it on Mendez.
San Diego, number 13, blue card, 2-minute penalty for contact above the shoulder.
Mendez had done everything right on that solo run, trying to recover it, and a little bit of a sape, I'm just saying, on the back of the head in Spanish.
Yeah. Well, that's a very costly penalty for the Sockers and Sebastian Mendez. Obviously, they very well may lose this game, but they now lose Mendez for next game. That's his 7th penalty point. He is suspended for the St. Louis ambush match, and that's one of the Sockers' only attacking midfielders on the entire roster, given their injury situation. So things just got a lot brighter for the rest of the league. Everyone's a Kansas City fan around the league today, and everyone's having a good day except for San Diego fans. Reggett punched away by Pardo. Lennis to Marquez, who's got 2 goals already. Goal! Nacho puts a little bit of extra sauce on it as it goes off Cardenas for his 3rd own goal of the season, and a 7-2 game.
Yeah, just a carambola, pinball action. Unfortunate for Cardenas. In order to be a strong defender, you have to be in the middle of every single play, but unfortunately, sometimes those rebounds don't go your way. And that's just an accidental situation there, but no accident that the Comets are leading 7-2, as they have been the better team so far.
10th goal for Nacho. We'll see if they do truly rule it an own goal. There's no assist on the play, but it's a timeout, and certainly the San Diego Sockers need it to be sure. So with that, let's just take a look at the scoreboard from earlier today. Utica City over Tacoma, 8-4. Great news for the fans of the Riggies to finally get to cheer a regulation win at home, something that had been, few and far between for Utica. But for Tacoma, it's the same old story. Now, on Thursday, they went to Empire and beat the Strikers and seemingly got the one result that they needed to make the playoffs this year. However, really, we're looking at the bottom of the standings right now, the fight for 6th or 7th. Today, Tacoma loses at Utica, the 8th place team in the league, by 4, 8-4. And Empire goes into Milwaukee and wins 6-3. And what's really setting up right now is, A, for Baltimore to win the Shield and to host the grand final possibly at Towson University inside the college basketball arena.
Mm-hmm.
But also for San Diego to drop out of the top 2 places, where they then have to play in the first round. And that could be a big difference maker for such an old team. Because San Diego showed their age at the beginning of the year, Tony, and right now, tonight, I mean, honestly, we've seen by far the worst of San Diego. It's almost not worth discussing. This is Kansas City's night. It's just a matter of seeing if San Diego can make it a respectable score at the end, or if it's going to be one of the worst losses in soccer's history. The worst loss in soccer's history is 10-4, and Kansas City could easily polish that off. And that was a road game, by the way. That was at Toyota Arena.
And again, for the Comets, again, trying to reclaim what they started off in this season. This is that fitness level that was being seen early on, and for the Sockers, you know, they have the opportunity to really, you know, they had it if they want to go clear in and get that rest for these legs. But then you also don't want to face a team that's, wow, watch out here.
Serta Morgan, that's one back. Leave it to a man who will never stop playing hard for San Diego, Cesar Serta. He's got the captain's armband on, and he set up Morgan for 7-3.
And we've seen Serta being much more offensive along those wings, along the boards. Here, Serta with that right foot just lays it over for Morgan, and it's the simple things. They've been trying to power through. They've been trying to force their way into the box, into the net of Ejimadu, but sometimes those slightly off-speed moments is what it takes. 7-3, and slowly you can start climbing up. You know, in the outdoor game, sometimes you say if they scored 4, you can score 5 in the same amount of time.
Right. And look, if there's ever a sport to do it, it's this sport. If there's ever a team to do it, Kansas City fans have probably been screaming at this for minutes, like, shut up, you. San Diego might come back. We've seen it too many times.
As we have a
handball, looks like. Is that what it was? Wilkins was pointing at his hand. Ball given back to Kansas City there. As you know, it's the next goal. After you score like this, to come back from 7-2 down, can't do it by trading goals. So you've got to get the next one. You got to ride a momentum wave, change the entire feeling and shape of the game. Francis steps over, runs in. Reggett lifts back post. He's looking for Marquez. Rion controls, sends to the middle, tipped out by Francis to Souza. Good possession here. Reggett with under 4 minutes to play in a dominant third quarter. Kansas City scored the first 3 goals of the quarter. 4 in a row and 5 out of 6 in the match. But the Morgan score from Serta put some life back in the crowd. Serta's feeding Morgan again. Double team greets him. Plays it off the official Hernando Pena to Serta. 3.5, Felipe Gonzalez. Across. Stolen. Knocked away. Morgan trying to chase his own loose ball. We've got a foul call behind. Knocking down to Voy. It'll be a set piece for San Diego. Oh, they restart. No. Wilkins said no. Pacheco shot it off the crossbar anyways.
Yeah, Sockers will be happy with that restart as well because it did hit the crossbar, and y ni así entra. If you're Mendez, you need to go ahead and exhaust yourself this entire match and see it out and be an X factor here to close out the game.
Cardenas just wide. Nice steal by Marquez on the wall. Plays it off the wall to himself. Sidewall pass sending in Marquez, sliding to Peterson. Back pass, Reggett inside to Marquez. Trying to leave it. Foul's called. Free kick coming, Kansas City.
He had the ball slowly dribble at the top of the box there. In between 2 attackers, Pereira and Morgan. which any other player, maybe a midfielder, could have gotten there a little bit quicker to close the gap. Now you found yourself trading set pieces in dangerous situations, and Kansas City, if they get one back again, kills the momentum that Sockers have built in the last couple of minutes.
Basically a top of the arc free kick. Well blocked. Reggett after the dummy by Francis. Very well sold dummy by Dom Francis.
They got some creative set pieces, Kansas City.
Back to the Comets. Reggett spun it up in the air. Pardo punched it down. Three lines? No. Back to the middle. Picked off for a second by Kazim. Mendez does well to keep him from a chance right in front of the net. And Pacheco digs it out for San Diego. Lennis sends it right back in for Kansas City. Shot by Flores, guarded in by Pardo. Gobbled it into his midsection. Woo! Serta spins past Flores, sending in Morgan. Morgan fakes his pass. Now the Sockers will set up in the front court. Andrade, though, dispossessed. Foul call. Minute 53 left in the quarter.
Yes, some discussions between Morgan and Francis.
Ruggles is waiting to shoot. Kansas City looking to win the weekend with 4 out of 6 points. San Diego needing to find a big comeback, biggest comeback of the year, if they want to get back in this one. Morgan. Kept the ball alive for the moment, and then Reyes ran over Mikey Lennis.
Reyes looking to put the body in there, but it seems like it was instead an obstruction call, getting in the pathway and a little bit on the side.
Pee-wee. Milton's got a little space. Up the wall, off of Souza. Foul called behind.
Advantage was given, but again, now third time after a shot this match.
I don't know. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Francis. Stankovic can hustle his way to another goal. Here it comes. Pardo's going to be able to find it. Magic minute of the third quarter. Can the Sockers find some magic? Stankovic pressuring. Forcing Serta to the middle toward that double team. Well-crafted defense here by Kansas City. 43 seconds. Serta now finding Pereira, who's been given a bit of a break. Nick down in the corner, double teamed, as always. Then Andrade sent it around the rim. And knocked out by Ajamadu. 30 seconds. Milton. Trying to toe poke the middle for Cardenas. Couldn't get there. 20 seconds. Felipe Gonzalez off the bench asking for the ball, but it's just serviced directly into Ajamadu's hands, who can lollygag through 4 seconds and then strong arm the ball out. Brought down by Reggett, kicked out by Serta, 3 seconds and 2. What a great quarter for Kansas City. Pereira delivers a foul to Peterson at the end of it. As KC has scored multiple goals in every quarter of this game. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. Does San Diego have a miracle in them, or will the MASL rejoice as the battle for the Shield tightens up even more? Find out after this on MASL TV.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Beginning of the fourth quarter as they wrap up the between quarter frisbee toss. Happens between the third and the fourth. And now a swarm of children race out to collect all of the errant frisbee tosses. So you see Nick there with the soon-to-be decommissioned Soccer's Hispanic Heritage Night jersey. I want to pick up one of those just so, like, at some point in the future, I can, like, fool everybody in the organization and just, like, say to Bowers or to Phil or to Cheeky, hey, was there ever a Soccer's jersey without the shield?
Yeah, that's...
And they'd be like, of course not. That's ridiculous. I'd be like, no, how about this one? The Flaming Heart. Unfortunately for San Diego today, Tony, more like heartburn than it is Mi Corazón Pintado Marrón, which is what it looked like when we first saw the kit. Kansas City, dominant quarter, 10-5 shots and 3-1 goals to take a 7-3 lead. And we highlighted him in the open, my friend. Said Rian Marquez held scoreless, basically first time in this calendar year. And he'd probably be hungry for revenge. Well, 2 goals, 2 assists later, Rian Marquez has been the dominant force in this game, and San Diego has had no answer for him.
Yeah, Marquez doing what Marquez does, and the Sockers are unable to contain that attack and then contain themselves even from committing errors. And coming out of the half, 4-2 seems like a distant game at this point. San Diego unable to move forward and create any significant attack individually, collectively. A lot of individual attempts that get squandered and or defended well by the Comets, who have been doing very well and positioned all night. And again, first two quarters, and Jamato being a hero in net as well, just putting his body on the line. We'll see what the last quarter has for these two teams.
Sockers will attack right to left, and it won't be very long before they go to a 6th attacker. They want to get a goal or two before they have to do it, as almost had a chance right off of the opening whistle. Not quite put together for San Diego. Mendez, who will be suspended next game, as Tony said, needs to empty the bucket here tonight. Morgan just went through a 4-game suspension, but that was for a red card against Nacho Flores. Back on February 14th, took him out all the way till March 8th, almost a month of action.
And the points of creativity for the Sockers have been Cárdenas and Cerda here in the third quarter. And when you have your defenders have to be the creative impetus moving forward, any sort of counterattack then leads you flat-footed and unable to recover. As you see here, Cárdenas to Cerda. Cerda moving forward.
Once again. And Mijatovic is out there. Now up high with Milton de Andrade, the two newest players for the team. Milton's going to find a ball, and there's another rolling block, and again taking the worst of it, Mikey Lennis. I can't be more impressed, and it's pretty much every time I watch him, but when you watch him in person, it's so much more. The way Kansas City sells out physically, defensively to block shots. Every player on this team puts their body on the line, signs up for pain in exchange for blocked shots.
And it's really knowing and reading as Nick is holding his face for a potential arm to the nose, it seems, but play continues.
Mendez shoots it high. Mijatovic tries to control it out of the air. He does, but gives it to Kansas City, and it's sent forward, and Pardo's going to have to come out to play it. He does. That was a three-line pass. I think it was. It was very close, but I believe it was a three-line pass against Pardo and San Diego.
Yeah, Pardo looking to come up and first time it and move the ball forward, but it seemed like, yeah, he was definitely not entirely across that line.
Fans are doing the oh, and Marquez is scoring a hat trick to put this one to bed. Fans were already doing the wave. 8-3 at 1:55. The three-line pass turns into a third goal for Rion Marquez.
And these little hesitation moves that they've been doing collectively, Kansas City on set piece, as you see it here again, where Kansas City just starts up and Flores moves forward, feints la finta, opens it up, and that's what happens when you have a marksman like that.
And you know, it's tough. You got your supporters section that's trying to stay right behind you and keep the energy going, and you're rewarding them with, you know, just straight up being dominated today, but that's what it is. Drew Ruggles is out as a sixth attacker now, and this will give Kansas City a great opportunity to add some more goals to their total tonight. Cerda to Milton to Drew. Mendez.
And how well Kansas City's been defending, it might not even look and feel like they're a man down for a sixth attacker. Just kudos to the hustle and the work rate defensively for the Comets.
Morgan's got the ball in the middle, just shot wide. Ruggles puts it in. That's one. Drew Ruggles on the sixth attacker. Morgan should get the tip assist there for 8-4.
Yeah, that shot that gets still blocked in front for Tavoy Morgan with three defenders on him and bombing it on against the walls. Drew Ruggles doing what he needs to do as a sixth attacker in that situation. Don't call me crazy, Craig, pero 4 goles. I don't know if it's impossible as a timeout is now being called.
Timeout called by San Diego. Interesting. Maybe to rest the group. Let's take this break with the two teams. The Sockers just got one back. Can they get the next one back? Let's find out. Pique your interest here on MASL TV.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Frontwave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Frontwave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Back with you at Frontwave Arena, where the Sockers just scored on a 6th attacker goal. 12:29 left in the fourth quarter. Still plenty of time in this wild pinball sport of indoor soccer to mount a crazy comeback. Let's see if the next 2 minutes offer any questions and answers in terms of the direction of this match. It's basically been all Kansas City. There were some brief moments for the Sockers, 2-1 and 3-2. Here's a steal by Marquez, who was the star of the match with 3 goals, 2 assists tonight. Pardo almost gave it away, but instead the ball's still out for a run. Pacheco put out too far in front of Mendez and taken away by Kansas City. Really got to appreciate the hustle, the tenacity, the focus. There's a pickpocket steal by Flores. Here comes Nacho in looking for more. Nacho fancy step over. Will drift into the corner now and take some more time off the clock and then eventually be called for a foul. But this is one of those rare times in the sport, Tony, as Holloman takes this one back, where you've got a direct, like, clear data. Because there's so many shifting situations, it's very rare that teams are in the same situation. Correct. But these two teams are in the same situation, and one team has responded so much better than the other that it's just worthy of praise. Kansas City clearly, from the top to the bottom, have outclassed San Diego today on their home floor, dropping San Diego to 500 on their home floor, 5-5. Possibly taking them out of a first-round bye as the next 2 weekends unfold. But more importantly for Kansas City, a chance to push them up the table. And I think the Comets are going to like their chances against San Diego based on this result and the fact that the other 2 games were both eminently winnable. Carrera. Can Reyes put it in? He misses. That would have been important. Mijatovic went for the steal. It's coming back the other way. From behind, Reyes took the ball away.
And it's not like San Diego didn't have those opportunities in the first and second quarter, even the third quarter as well, to start mounting those points and start mounting those looks. Great defensive looks as well, but San Diego didn't take advantage of those situations. And now Tavoy looking to muscle and use it.
He's on a hat trick here, sitting on 2 goals.
We'll look to 6th attacker coming on up.
Yep, Ruggles is on now. Pardo raced off. Sockers scored first on this. Ruggles in the corner is the way they did it. That shot missed. Pee-wee is out there. Pee-wee's trying to fight through 2 guys. Morgan brings it down to Serta. 9:23 to play in the match. Nilton, Ruggles, Nilton, Morgan. Foul in the middle.
You start to see that urgency once again from San Diego, but again, you have to extend that urgency not just in these critical moments, but throughout the game. Trying to act quickly and fast. It's not going to happen so close to the net.
Morgan needs time anyway. He's limping getting up. Now he's on the back post. Ruggles slams it into the wall, and Ejimadu is so fired up about it. I think he was praising his defenders for the block shot. I'm not sure.
He was, but he was asking for the defenders to be in the spot that he wanted it. The result was the same, but again, the intensity of Ejimadu to keep his defenders on point.
Pereira, Ruggles tried, and then once again is Pino. Serta to Void! No, just missed. That looked like it was going in. Serta gets it loose. He shoots a curving shot just wide. Ruggles back up in the play with under 9 minutes to go.
The ball sometimes just doesn't want to go in, but Ejimadu near post has been almost perfect this entire match. Credit to the big man in net.
Yeah, second star, for sure. Morgan. Dropped. Morgan back up. Empty net opportunity. It's going to be well wide. This is more of a time opportunity to kill time. Time is on the side of the visitors. Ruggles.
You're asking the Sockers to do something they haven't been able to do all match and go past this well-placed defense, and their positioning has been fantastic. And again, putting their bodies on the line, on the air, on the ground. You'll see a Comet flying anywhere to prevent a San Diego Soccer shot. There's no spaces, there's no windows of opportunity almost.
Mendez! Oh, back post Nilton was that window, but it was a sliver. Shoveled out of there by Holloman. 7 minutes and change. Milton and the Sockers desperate to find something. Kansas City watches Pacheco off the wall, down to Andrade. Milton misses wide. How many times? The answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind.
And from those shots, too, the reason some of those shots are the way that they are is because the Sockers are trying to find as close of a shot near to the post, because you know such a big body, such a fast reaction that Ejimadu has is going to block that regardless. So you're trying to place that perfectly, but sometimes perfectly is a little too much. San Diego.
Mendez blocked again. I mean, if I had to have one word to describe Kansas City's performance today, it would be heart. Ironic in that there's a heart symbol where the Sockers crest would be.
Yeah, correct, as it's going to be a strong collision there.
Holloman down. There's two big guys going head to head. Ooh, Holloman put his face in the glass. These two were teammates in Tacoma. Again, there's never any ill intent in these situations. It's just not, it's too familial a league for that. This is a group of guys that play in different tournaments with each other, against each other. Guys move from team to team that they know. And, you know, they're part of this indoor soccer family. A timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for San Diego, and we can do it for both teams as the Sockers now officially struggling. Will play host to St. Louis next week. They do hope to get Leonardo de Oliveira back next week. They think Charlie might be able to come back by the final weekend. That would be huge. Craig Childs left and has not returned to this game and was holding his knee. It makes you wonder if that might be a season-ending situation. Gabi Costa is not expected back, is my understanding, and I have not heard one update yet on Luis Morales. And if I could really point to one thing where I think you've seen stuff fall over the last 2 weekends, it was when Luis Morales went out in the third quarter early, minute and a half in against Baltimore. And since then, it's just that one less attacking, dangerous presence. It's made San Diego, I think, guardable in a way that they aren't normally.
No, exactly. Whenever you had Pereira out there and they were connecting with Morales and playing in tandem, and you had to defend both sides and have different layers to that attack. That's just not happening right now, where you now can overload the defense and attention to Pereira, to Morgan, but there isn't that second outlet, that second creative force that's moving the ball up and taking those shots and laying off those assists, because with somebody like Morales, you're preparing for a shot. Even if that shot isn't on target, it's gonna go ahead and go into the middle or dribble out into the outside for a second rebound. But in order for that to happen, you need to have some space that is usually created by a dynamic player, by him. And for the Sockers to find the creative aspects through the defense is gonna be tough, especially against a good Kansas City team like tonight, where they're taking everything that the Sockers have given them.
.634 left in this one. Guerrero Pino offering some fist bumps to some fans he knew for years here along the front row of the north side of the arena. Pino playing his days when we were at Pechanga Arena for the Sockers. So many of those fans who used to come to the Midway now come to North County. There's one headed by Pacheco out of the air for Pardo to short hop, and there goes Boris showing his wheels, hustling to the bench. Ruggles is back out there. San Diego just looking for something. The giveaway to an empty net was probably not it. Missed by Reggett. 6 guys on the field screaming Kansas City. Absolutely.
That's a challenge, and that's going to be a successful challenge.
Absolutely. It will be 100%. That'll be too many men on San Diego. And doing his famous finger wag, but I'm afraid the finger wag could be reserved for the locker room. It's not going to be helpful here, I'm afraid. This will be an interesting challenge. And here comes our first MASL video review, starring Josh Wilkins on the mic. Please enjoy.
Nothing. Okay. All right, guys. Can you hear me? Yeah, great. Let's go to the wide look here, and just yeah, play slow motion for me. Great. So going 2, 4, 5, 3, 4 off. Okay. Okay. And then just keep playing full speed. Okay, pause for me here. Just stop for a second. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Keep going. And then keep going here. And slow. 3, 4, 5. But he's not impactful. Keep going, keep going. 6 is on there. And then Drew's on. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Actually, I don't have it there either.
Because they're not having impact in the
Yeah, one back all the way. Just show me one more time. Yeah. No, we're counting. Go ahead and just play it for us. Yeah, we'll talk ourselves through it. So Pardo's on. He's off.
Yes.
Yep. 5, 6. Great.
They made a shot. They missed.
Okay, and then let it run. Yep, let it run. And he's, yeah. A little bit more. Play a little bit more. I want to just keep going all the way down. Yeah, because. Okay, you good?
Yeah,
nothing? I have nothing there?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, go ahead and turn my mic on. After review, there's no infraction for too many men on the field.
Yeah. Well done, Josh Wilkins. Well done, Amoda crew. And the reason for that, and the reason why I think you and I, Tony, both thought it was, because this is a point of emphasis over the last couple of years in the league, was that Boris had already decommitted himself to the play. So you heard Wilkins say he's not impactful. And That was the important point to that. But as point of fact, when you actually watched it, Ruggles hadn't come out. So they were actually legal every step of the way there. There was never a moment that they were even 7 men, but Pardo's decommitted.
Yeah, that's correct. And I mean, you know, you just have that challenge in your back pocket. If you're Kansas City, why not just try to get an advantage as much as you can this game? You're trying to see it out, and now, trying to find Drew Ruggles on the back end.
I don't think there's intent in it in any way. I think they certainly thought it was 6 men, but it does serve as kind of an extra timeout to help rest the defense. Ferreira. 5 minutes for 4 goals. This would be soccer's legendary territory.
It's going to take something special, but the Comets have been playing in a special way this match as well.
Mendez just misses. The ball usually tells the story. It certainly has tonight.
Definitely well placed, this defense by Kansas City. It doesn't seem like they're a man down. Just closing in those spaces.
Good ball movement there. Reggett goes flying over the top of Serta. Milton's open and he misses.
Got to put some...
Ferreira! I mean, what happened there? Off of Morgan's face and hands. He basically caught the ball. It didn't work out quite the way it was intended, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, one of those nights where, yeah, sometimes the ball, like I said, doesn't want to go in. No quiere, it's not in your favor, and even when your face is on it, inches away from the line, it just doesn't want to go in. From the shot.
Yeah. Mama said there would be days like this, and this is one of those days. This is one of those days where it was just really never in doubt. And again, as Nilton comes in, Nilton scores. 8-5.
And Mission Impossible seeming a little less impossible, but still a good hustle here by the team. Nilton getting on the other side of it. Outside foot with a foot shot, getting past Ejimadu. Lining up the crowd that's still here. They still believe.
Back-to-back goals for San Diego for the first time tonight.
And now just knowing what Kansas City's going to do and try to expend a lot of the time that's left. San Diego has to be smart defending. Cannot get themselves in a situation where they lose their head and have to have ultimate focus.
Speaking of head, Brian trying to use his. Just headed it over the net. That'll give it back to San Diego, and you'll see Boris going on the scramble here once again with 3:43 left. Pee Wee Ortega gets the assist on that Milton goal off the steal. That's the 99th point of his MASL career. Pardo heads off. That ball just drifted into Ajimadu's hands. Danger now. Serto, how about that header? Out of the air to bring it down 2v3 for a moment. Now here comes Morgan on the hat trick, kicked out by Pino. Mendez rates it over to Nilton. His shot just wide on that toe poke again. That's a favorite try of Nilton, the toe poke shot.
So difficult to defend, almost unpredictable which direction it goes.
That's the thing. But it's so cool when it goes in. Craig Childs has made a living with some great toe pokes.
Oh, yeah.
Serta, 2:45 left. That's all Kansas City has to suffer through to pick up their 11th win of the year, to move within 3 points of San Diego in the standings, and to tie up Milwaukee in the standings.
those tired legs, trying to look for some sort of opportunity, and off-the-ball movement isn't as dynamic as it was in the first 2 quarters.
Morgan back to Nilton. Good look for Serta. Trying to feed the middle. Once again stopped. Kansas City's dog tired. I mean, they're exhausted right now. And that's allowed San Diego to hold all this possession. That defending is tough to do. Another timeout called. You get why. You get why. Well, the Shield is now very much out of San Diego's hands. They could win their last 3 matches theoretically to add 9 points and get to no better than 47. But at this point, it's not just a matter of trying to get to the top, it's a matter of how far you could actually fall down as far as 5th place in the MASL. San Diego is very much in danger of that, with Milwaukee and Kansas City and St. Louis all nipping at their heels. St. Louis comes in next week. Kansas City will host Baltimore. Later, Milwaukee will host Baltimore. And it's one of those things where, just looking at it from a San Diego perspective for a moment, if they had won this game, they would have been points clear of the field, and those games would have worked to San Diego's favor, because Milwaukee could pick off Baltimore, or Baltimore could pick off Milwaukee, but they're going to be losing points. Now it's more of they're going to be getting points, and San Diego has to look at themselves and say, where are we going to find our wins? Because they've dropped points now in 3 straight games. After having that solid winning streak running, you see an overtime win bracketed by 2 pretty resounding losses. This one obviously much more emphatic and simple. Baltimore's was a second half domination and comeback. But San Diego, which literally is like counting on getting a bye, could finish as low as 5th place in this year's standings.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the teams and just the level of competition with this season in the MASL, you're also going to have to look at what teams are going to be in form going into playoffs. If playoffs started tomorrow, would the San Diego Sockers team be able to answer that call? And looking at the field right now, it seems like the teams who are coming into playoffs are a little bit more match fit because they're also playing for their lives. And then on the top side of that standings table, you have teams who are not just in form, but also very talented as well.
And that's the key. This is going to be goal number 9 coming up. Andreas. Oh, Serta says no.
That's playing with heart. This is con corazón.
Yes, sir. Don Beebe running down Leon Lett in the Super Bowl right there. All the credit to Kansas City tonight. They've taken 2 heartbreaking losses at home to San Diego. Now they've given San Diego an actual thumping, to which I think the Comets can now say pretty safely, we can beat you guys. We're better than you. We could have beaten you all 3 times. You needed overtime to beat us.
Juan Charlie Gonzalez being the only difference in the first matchup of the season.
Mendez has missed wide about 8 times in this game. That's how it happens. And again, you know, like these guys, everyone's tired. You can give them a pass, but again, this is 1-to-1. This is not a rested Kansas City team facing a tired San Diego team. These 2 teams had to do the exact same thing, and look at which one handled it. The Comets did, absolutely. Congratulations. Morgan. Serta getting in closer and closer. 20 seconds left. Just hoping for a 6th to make the match look like it was more respectable than it was. It was 7-2 when they started going to parachute theories. Ruggles punched out. Milton, rebound, goal. And 8-6 will be the final.
Once again, that toe poke that he loves so much, going up and hitting the roof of the net, but it's a little bit too late for the San Diego Sockers as they found themselves in front of a Comets team that just defended and played with everything in the tank. San Diego was just unable to respond in those moments. The real difference, Rion Marquez, if you're looking at it.
So for Nilton, 2 goals and an assist tonight. Gets these last 2 to make it look a little bit better as the final seconds come off the horn. Full time here at Frontwave Arena, 8-6 the final score. We'll come back to hear from Comet star Rion Marquez when we come back on MASL TV.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Wind 6 miles, runway 6 right, clear on.
Kansas City wins 8-6. Hat-trick hero Rion Marquez downstairs with Nick Ferrara.
Our MASL player of the game is none other than Rion Marquez. 3 goals, 2 assists, in a must-win scenario here after back-to-backs with the San Diego Sockers. Last night at your house, you guys were on the wrong end of an overtime defeat. But you come here, travel less than 24 hours later, all the way to the West Coast here in San Diego, to the Blue Turf, where you laid it down tonight. You didn't score last night, but you got 3 tonight. Talk about how important that hat-trick was and the efforts of your team to get this victory to stay in the playoff hunt throughout the MASL season.
Today was a must-win for us. After losing yesterday, we had to come here and steal one from them. It's always good to play San Diego. They're a top team, but so are we. So it was very important. I always say to my teammates that I don't really care about the goals and assists. I mean, it's nice to get them, but I'd rather have the win. So I'm glad that we got the win tonight.
And let's talk about the importance of that. A highly decorated MASL athlete, first-team All-Rookie, first-team All-MASL, and MASL All-Star, but you always go back to the virtue, the importance of the victory, and none more important than this one to keep your playoff hopes alive. Let's talk about what your team effort was like on the plane ride out here and what it will be on the way back to Kansas City.
Like you mentioned, it's very hard to play back-to-backs like that, but we got ourselves together. We fixed some details from yesterday. We put a good performance out. I started with hard, but then we also tweaked a few things on the tactical side as well. And we want to finish with 4 wins and then create momentum to the playoffs.
Ganhar is the Portuguese verb for win, and that's exactly what the Comets were able to do here tonight in San Diego. One more time, your MASL player of the game, Rian Marquez.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Nick. Congratulations to Rian and to the Comets for a much-needed win, improving to 11-6-4 and improving to 35 points on the season. The Sockers fall to 13-6-2. This is the 8th loss of the season for San Diego, which officially makes it the worst season in San Diego Soccer's modern history. They had never lost more than 7 games in any regular season prior to this year, where they now sit at 13-8. It speaks to the competitiveness of this 8-team league, and it certainly speaks to a Sockers team that'll be looking for answers over the course of the final 2 weekends. 9 more points still up for grabs. For San Diego to have a chance at a bye, they probably need no fewer than 8 of those points. They probably need 3 wins one way or another, and they probably need at least 2 regulation wins.
100%. For the San Diego Sockers, they have to come in together and circle the wagons, really look at themselves in the mirror in terms of what is going to be expected of them moving forward to the last 3 games, because right now in form is the rest of the league, and the San Diego Sockers just haven't been able to find that gear to really, I don't even say cruise into victory, into first place, but they really have the ingredients, they have the team, they have the talent. It's just a matter of putting it together in the 4 quarters when it really matters. And for the rest of the league, like you said, Craig, everybody liked the result tonight.
The executive producers of our broadcast today, Terry Parrish and Chris Karcher. Director Dan Patton. AV Manager James Allen. Broadcast producer Michael Darcy. Audio engineers Spencer White and Matt Sparrow. Our graphics operator Larry Patton. Director of photography Andy Cooper. Gabe Pan is on the first assistant camera. Jaime Reynoso. Our replay operator Lexi Turner and Chris St. Lebrec are our air camera operators, and Matt Camp is running the wireless. That's your cast and crew. For Nick Ferrara and Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston reminding you of today's final score. Comets beat the Sockers 8-6. We'll talk to you next Sunday at 4 o'clock for the Sockers in St. Louis ambush. Until then, so long from Oceanside.
At Frontwave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stop. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Please signal runway 6 right, wait on.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen around can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.